Hello guys, and welcome back for another update. Today we're visiting Paradiso, A Remembrance of Time. Now one thing you should notice here is that I have actually placed the music in this entire chapter. Normally it's there's actually different tracks for each chapter, but I've decided to change this one up because on the Bayonetta official soundtrack, whatever, it is a 5-disc soundtrack. There is this track here which is not used anywhere in the game. And it's a real shame because it's a really nice track. So in the interests of the fact that I'm using Odette, I wanted to pick something that was a little bit chill. Now I did mention in the normal playthrough that I don't like using Odette, and I still don't. It's a pain in the ass. They are gimmicky at best, and they don't really have any real application in, I suppose, quote-unquote serious gameplay. The only reason they're there is, well, I guess Camille likes his elemental attacks or enemies. So he just had to put in, you know, electricity, fire, and ice. Now, out-of-body battles, I really recommend that you use Gaze of Despair. Otherwise, you will probably get hit a lot and get very frustrated with Alpha. Because what happens is, enemies will be attracted to your body, which is that purple sphere over there, and they will not attack actually you, which is this, I suppose, other dimensional spirit. But what they can do is actually attack both your body and your spirit, so you actually get double chances of getting hurt. So what Gaze of Despair will do is attract them to your spirit and leave your body alone, which is what you want. That right there is why I don't really like using both the sword, I suppose, and the skates when playing with Gaze of Despair. It really slows down your attacks and reduces your ability to actually do air combos. I suppose this episode will be of me not finishing verses very stylishly. It's disappointing, but sometimes I have those days. I did lose my angel weapon there, in case you guys are that observant. Certain weapons will actually get lost if you use the kick attack on them, I believe. It's a little bit annoying, because sometimes you just actually want to kick something and you accidentally end up using the weapon. Which is a shame because I do like that tuner. Okay, so... skates. I will be talking a little bit more in depth about the skates in the extras video. Suffice to say, right now, Bayonetta does have an Umbran fragrance for him, which gives her a tutu and a little... I'm not really sure what you call it. It's a headdress type thing, and it's what is typically used in the ballet, actually, of Swan Lake. So of course the Umbran fragrance had to be a reference to Swan Lake. But I'll leave the culturedness, the cultured talk, for the extras video. Because LP is where you get your cultured from. One cool thing about the skates is that you do move a little bit faster than if you were just to run regularly, but it's still not as fast as Beast Mode. And I actually don't like using them normally because they make me slide a whole lot more, which is what you would expect from a pair of skates, but I really dislike it. I swear to God, sometimes that ball just teleports. It can be a little bit stressful this verse, but the platinum requirement for this isn't too high, at least there's something. One thing I'll say about the platinum requirements on non-stop, they are not very high, but with Jean, given that she does a lot more damage with her wicked weaves, it is actually a little bit difficult to get platinum with her. Typically what most people will do, if you're going for a platinum on a non-stop with Jean, is use Gaze of Despair, but as you guys don't like that, I'm not going to use it. Oh yeah, one thing about the skates, you notice right now she's got some sort of, I guess, speed trail coming up behind her. If you skate for about 2 seconds or longer, she'll get a speed trail, and you can actually use that to some effect by... Okay, so if you let go of the left analog stick and then you press the kick button, she'll do a jumping spin attack. Pretty much never used. Or I personally never use it. One tip for this verse here on hard. On hard you have the same enemies in the chests, which is Gracious and Glorious, and in the final chest you'll have a Fearless. What I like to do is actually release all 3 of them and stick close to the Fearless. So what that will do is you can actually get Witch Time off Fearless, which makes dealing with these 2 Gracious and Glorious a lot easier. But because it doesn't really make any much difference here in non-stop, so we're going to do that. And that there is the only instance in this chapter where I actually managed to freeze an enemy. It is actually pretty difficult to freeze enemies because most of them, the more difficult ones, are incredibly mobile and therefore a lot more difficult to freeze. How you actually freeze enemies is by doing a set amount of damage with the actual skates, not wicked waves. So those skates actually have to touch the enemy. There actually is an achievement associated with freezing enemies. I think if you freeze 20 of them you get an achievement. It's technically not that difficult, you just hit the kick button a lot and you'll get it. There is a hold down button attack for the skates. That's it there, actually. And there's actually 2 different kinds of hold down or whatever attacks for the skates. You can just hold down the button and shield Bayonet and Jean 0, whatever, will spin around and or do a barrage kick, but very slow. But if you hold down the button and then mash the button, you can do it a lot faster. Which is how you make freezing enemies a little bit easier. But as I mentioned in the first Alfheim in this chapter, it's a bit difficult with enraged enemies. Just why don't really like using it? Now, according to the wiki, you can actually freeze pretty much all enemies except for boss enemies, so you can't freeze these guys, for example, and you can't freeze Jean, or the 3 cardinal virtues. I haven't actually tried it, but apparently you can freeze joys and harmonies and decorations dear. I don't imagine you actually can though, because it's pretty hard to freeze enemies that are airborne. Plus they die so quickly too. Right, so on non-stop, this anything with kinship actually can be a bit of a pain, because you don't have which time to use as a crutch. So what you can do in this instance here is actually use the parry accessory. In this case you actually parry towards the kinship and you'll be fine. Sometimes though, it won't let you do that, you have to parry towards where the actual missiles are coming from, which is really, really annoying. So the best way to deal with it is just use unlock portal kick. You get invincibility frames that way. And again, watch out for attacks that come after the end of the verse snapshot thing. Again, I'm not very sure if it counts towards your verse grading, but you can never be too sure. Joys do it, kinship do it. They're a bit annoying. So yes, Umbra and Portal Kick. Yes, invincibility frames when you're doing the spin for the portal creation. I'm not sure about the actual kick that comes when you teleport through that portal. It's different for the... oh man, I don't know the name of it, but the similar attack but for the punch attack. No invincibility frames for that one. I really wish I could say there was like a straightforward strategy for dealing with multiple genres, but it's really hard because you just have to know their tells and try and watch both of them at once. I don't really have anything useful to say about dealing with them. One thing I can say is don't be afraid to pull out your own Tetsu Senkos. Very important when dealing with genres. Yeah, that's all I've got, unfortunately. The best way to deal with genre is just to practice a lot, and this Alpha actually is pretty good for practicing. Oh yes, I do have the Pulley's Butterfly accessory equipped here, but I don't actually use it. Because each time a butterfly dies, it actually does count towards your final score. Not that it should matter because you still get pure platinum anyway, but it doesn't look very nice. So Pulley's Butterfly will be one of those accessories I'll be showing off in the extras video at the very end of the LP. Yes, there is an end to this LP. Now there is an achievement for smashing all of these apples in one go. It's called Naughty Tentacles. It's actually not that difficult to get. If you have trouble doing it, what I would suggest is that if you're about to miss an apple, use the shoot button, that is the X button, or the square button on PlayStation, to try and float your way towards the apple. Sometimes you just won't get it though, so you can just reload. I actually did manage to get it while I was trying for this verse. And it's important, kind of, because it does add to the combo points you get for this verse. And you actually do get, I think it's 2 or 3 inspired that come along as well, and you can kill them with your kicks. God, this is really why I hate dealing with joys. I just keep dodging all my attacks and not getting hit. Plus the tell for the whip attack is really hard to see. Ugh. Yes, one of the few times I'll use a torture attack here. Because she was just about to die, and that's the best way to maximize combo points. And this verse actually is pretty strict with its platinum combo rank. Surprisingly. It's about, well, It's above 5,000. Gosh, this is the episode about Odette and Karen and I haven't been talking about them. Okay, so most weapons do get their own unique combo. Karen's... I'll just call it Karen, or Odette, get used to it. Karen and Odette's special attack is a 4-kick combo, which is the same 4-kick combo that Jean the boss uses. There's variations on it, but what you do, that 4-kick combo does end in a wicked weave if you extend it and barrage it properly. There are also variations of kick, kick, pause, punch ones, and also a kick, pause, punch, and a kick, 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 pause, punch attack. They're actually pretty hard to pull off. Which is a shame because they are pretty fun to use, but they're just so very situational. Seriously, the only time you really want to use it is in the Jubileus fight when you have the Ice World. So all kicks and any combos with Odette can be extended into a barrage or a spin attack. Yes, I mentioned if you hold down and mash the button, you'll get a faster kick from it. Right, this fight here is a pain on non-stop because you don't have Witch Time and the Platinum combo rank is actually stupidly high. I think I finished this, I was playing through this raw recording one time and I had everything all nice platinumed up, and then this one just screwed it up because it's just ridiculously high. Which is why I pretty much always use weak weapons with this, which is the electric dagger. It is important to keep your combo going, and it is, you do get a lot of combo points from the torture attack where you volleyball this guy, but it's sometimes not enough. And I let my combo break there, but luckily that didn't matter. I think the Platinum combo rank is about 8,000 for this one, which is actually pretty difficult. Oh yeah, one thing, if you manage to miss that QTE and not hit the climax, the golem will reform and regain about, I think it's 1/3 of its health. The only thing you're being penalised there is for time though, so don't worry about it. Oh yes, one other thing about the skates. If you just spin the analog stick, she'll do that. And you can do it forever. Actually not sure how useful it is in terms of an attack, but that's something you can do. This bird here is probably one of the hardest ones to get. Because it's very finicky about how you wall jump and then jump off of that wall. So yes, these Alfheims are pretty much trivial once you get Durga. Really nothing interesting to say about this at all. there's actually no need to be conservative in this one, because look at how many punches and kicks you get. You get 60 punches and 50 kicks for fairness, fearless, and a joy. And admittedly, the joy can be a pain in the ass to deal with, because I hate joys. But yeah, the amount of punches and kicks they give you here, you can probably just go crazy. Well, not too crazy. And that marks the end of this chapter, which means we're on the home stretch. After this one, we have 6 more chapters to go, and after that, just 2 more updates, so 8 more videos. 8 or 7, still haven't decided.
It's a celebration.
And it will be a celebration. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time in A Sea of Stars. See ya!